Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
Growing up with a legacy like my grandfather's and of course my father, who died 6 months before I was born, was Philippe Cousteau Sr. And his work as well inspired me growing up. So being able to grow up with stories from my grandfather and spending time with him, you know, is a big part of what inspired me to be the person I am today. My mother, Jan, is my greatest hero. She raised my sister and I, my sister Alexandra and I, almost by herself. My grandfather was a very busy man. He traveled a lot, so we saw him a few times a year, but it was really my mom that ultimately taught me everything that I know and made me the person that I am. When I was old enough to go diving and do that kind of thing, my grandfather wasn't doing that much because he was, you know, in his 80s, but we spent a lot of time, you know, on dry land together. My grandfather really helped open up my eyes and understand that everything's connected. So when you talk about oceans, you're talking about land, you're talking about people, you're talking about population, you know. He's a big advocate, as I am, for the rights of women in developing countries, to empower women, which is now the whole microcredit movement and understanding you empower women and it changes the dynamic. They educate their children, they provide food, they provide shelter, the population rate goes down, you know, the growth rate, you know, the birth rate goes down, how many kids they have. So there's all these compound effects, and he was a big advocate of that early on. And what that helped me to understand is the global nature of these issues and how everything is connected. And that was really, I think, the gift that my grandfather gave me to not just think about one issue, but see it as it's related to everything else. Like I said, you know, when you talk about oceans and you talk about biodiversity and you talk about women's rights, you talk about, you know, so many different things, population, etc. So he was a Renaissance man and a visionary. You know, my father and grandfather, they weren't marine biologists either. A lot of people assume they were scientists and assume I'm a scientist. I don't like to take credit for stuff that I haven't done. I studied history at university, knowing that all along and always my role, like theirs, was really as a storyteller, was really as a communicator, a filmmaker, writer, etc. That's always been what my passion has been about. And I get to work with amazing scientists and help, you know, profile and to help them tell their stories. I run a nonprofit called Earth Echo International, and we focus on education, environmental education. Been very involved in the oil spill in the last few months covering that, and that's a tragedy of epic proportions. So we're surrounded by bad news all the time. My favorite thing is the work that I get to do with young people, because what I get to see is the passion and the energy that they have to make this world a better place. And you know, when you get too focused on some of the negativity, things look really bad. And when you open up and you understand just how many people out there, how much the next generation is fired up, that's exciting. That's the hopeful part. So that's my favorite part of my work that I get to do, is getting to travel, work with young people, and see the excitement and wonder in their eyes about taking control and charting a new course for the future.